Hey guys, welcome to another Tressa Collectibles product opening for the set Bocchi the Rock in English Weiss Schwarz. Today I will be your box opening host. This is Simu, also known as Chairman. Not usually on this show or this video, these types of videos, but I am in town for this weekend. Couldn't miss one of my favorite anime of all time, Bocchi the Rock. I own this set in Japanese and I actually have almost completely successfully max rarity'd it. I think I'm missing a few TD SPs. So I'm a very big fan, and I'm really excited to open this in English because I'm just really excited for this set to be represented in English Weiss Schwarz. So a little bit of background about the show Bocchi the Rock. It is a based off a manga. I actually do not remember the mangaka's name, but it has an anime adaptation. It's a very good adaptation. I highly suggest you guys watch it. Gives very much K-On! Vibes if you're a fan of that older show, but it's also very different. I think all the characters are very whimsical and their personalities really shine through. It's also a lot of fun and they do a lot of really funny stuff in the anime with the animations. Just go check it out. It's a really good time. Now today we'll be opening 2 boxes as well as the trial deck, and hopefully we'll be able to pull some really cool cards to show off for you guys. So let's start with the trial deck. I'm going to move the boxes right over here. So the trial deck, every card can come in a foil rarity. So that's every card can come in the, I believe it's the triple rarity. The cover Bocchi card also comes as an SR and can also come SP. So in every case, every trial deck case, there are 2 SPs. Each of the main girls has an SP of their own, and also the choice climax for the level 1 combo also can come SP foiling. So maybe we'll pull one of those really cool SPs. I really like the choice climax SP. It looks amazing. So if we pull one of those, I'll be really happy. In general, I think the trial deck is actually a pretty decent purchase for Bocchi because there's a lot of good cards in here. I'll kind of go over some of them. I don't think any of the cards are necessarily like 100% like in every meta deck, but there's a lot of just really powerful options, and I think hopefully if Bocchi gets like a second set, some of these TD cards could have a chance to shine more. Alright, so we're going to start off with the guaranteed SR in the trial deck, which is the Hitori Gotou. This is on play, you can look at up to 3 cards to grab an event. We call this it's like the Hestia effect from Danmachi. And the second effect is, we call it the submarine effect from Content Collection. So when you play it, if your opponent has 1 or fewer characters in their center stage, and it's a cost 0 or lower, you can send it to the waiting room in this case. Sometimes it's bottom deck, sometimes it's waiting room. In this case, it's waiting room, so it's pretty good. It's like really good if you go second. And also the top check 3 helps you grab events. The set generally is pretty event based. There's a lot of event synergy, so that's why it can really come up. All right, so these are the, so we're gonna pull up, so Bocchi, Bocchi, Nijika, Ryo, and Kita. These cards can all come, where's Ryo? Is Ryo I think Ryo is yeah. So these cards can come SP, I believe. Wait, are these the cards that come SP? Oh, I think it's just this one. And actually, oh man, it's been a while since I'm thinking of my own collection. I think it's actually just this one or the climax, right? I don't think these can come SP. It's been a while, I don't remember. But anyways, these are kind of like the cover arts with the really cool, like the volume meter key art. This is the Brainstorm, one of Nijika's 4 Brainstorms. I don't know why she has 4 and Ryo has 0, but that's a thing. This is a level 1 combo. This is a top check 4 combo. It can come up pretty often. This is one of your good level 1 combos of choice, I think. Definitely worth playing it. This 2-0 has a soul trigger. I don't know why. That still scares me to this day. They need to stop giving level 0 soul triggers, or costless characters soul triggers in this case. What else? This is a 1175 Encore. I think this is the only one in the set, so that can come up. Alright, and so we're moving to the back half of the trial deck, and in this case we'll be able to find out what our foil is. So none of these cards. Alright, so we didn't get the, what is this? We didn't get the Climax SP. Oh, I think it's coming up. Wait. Oh, okay, it was always at the end. I see. All right, so we got the, what is this? This is the leaflet counter. So when you use the backup, reveal top card of your deck. If it's a music character out of hand, Choose a card in your hand, put into waiting room. It's a 2K backup with a soul trigger. Oh, this has a soul trigger. I think sometimes these backups don't have a soul trigger. Maybe they always do. I can't remember. Very nice. Yeah, so pretty cool. Is there anything else in this TD that's really noteworthy? This key does pretty good. It's like the on reverse, look at up to top 3 for a climax. I think that's a pretty popular effect that some people really like playing. Also, we have like a climax searcher event. Yeah, there's like a lot of pretty good cards. Randall will be probably doing the TD++ episode for this set, so he'll have a really nice TD upgrade deck cooked for you guys. So that'll be pretty exciting to look at. Just wait for that episode. All right, let's start with the boxes. So, Bocchi the Rock, the box ratios for each case. Each case contains 1 SSP out of the, I think there's 8. Yeah, every girl has 2 SSPs. So there's 1 of the 8 SSPs per case. There's 2 OFRs. The OFRs are all climaxes. And there are 3 KBRs. The KBRs are like the chibi cards. And they have like the Kessoku Band stamp on it. I believe the stock soul, what's it called? Yeah, so there's also a stock bomb Bocchi that's the 13th KBR. So every girl has, I believe, 3 KBRs, and then there's a 13th KBR, which is the stock bomb Bocchi, and that one's actually kind of like the most expensive one because I believe that actually just has a signature on it, if I remember correctly. But it looks really nice as well. And yeah, so, and every card comes foiled. So SRs of every single rarity. What, rarity? Every single card can come SR or higher. Yeah. And then I actually don't remember how many per box, but I guess we'll find that out right now. I don't need to. Did Mike give me a scissors? Let's see, scissors. Alright, as you can see, I'm not a very strong man. Okay, let's put that aside. Start off with our first box. We have the Rio PR. The PRs for Bocchi are all very cute. It's all got the chibi art. Very nice. I don't think any of them see metagame play, but they all have pretty interesting and unique effects. This Rio is probably the more generic one. It just gets 1500 power for each character in your opponent's backstage, so it can become 7k power, which is pretty big, so nothing to scoff at for a 1-0. Although there is a Bocchi, I believe, that hits 7500 power, so that's definitely probably your choice if you want to play big bodies at level 1. Okay, so let's start off with this first pack. Okay, so this reel works with the double R Nijika that we'll talk about later. We got a memory kick backup. We got one of the Bocchi brainstorms, and we have this reel. So this reel is, I believe it's the only card that can stock from your hand. So on play, you can choose a card from your hand and put it into your stock. And then when it gets reversed, you can also reveal the top card of your deck. And if the character across from this reel has level equal to that, the revealed characters or the real card's level or lower, you can send that character to clock. So it's kind of like the Escanor from Seven Deadly Sins, except instead of counting the number of Escanors in your waiting room, it just checks the top card of your deck, and whatever level that is, that's what hits. So it's pretty good. I think a lot of decks generally want to run one copy of this because both effects do come up. Because it can always reverse, or it can always send to clock to level 0. This Bocchi Brainstorm is one of my favorite cards because, well, the flavor text is so great. So it's a Brainstorm 5, and the reason why that's really relevant is because in the show during this scene, Bocchi is tasked to sell 5 tickets to her friends or family, and she only has a mom, dad, and a sister, and I guess herself, right? But then she counts her dog in the family, so like she's trying to think of 5 people, but she can't. So that's why she's brainstorming. She's like brainstorm 5, and then for each climax revealed, you can search your, you can choose a character in your waiting room with the Gotou family name to add to your hand. So she's like trying to think of 5 family members, and she's including the dog. But yeah, it's just so much flavor. It's a very fun card. Yeah. Alright, let's see here. Anything new here? This is a interesting climax combo. It's one of those... Oh, we got a first foil. It is the Nijika 2-1 gold bar combo. That combo is actually not bad. We can talk about that combo when it comes up. Oh, we got our first... this is another Brainstorm. This is a Brainstorm 5, and it grabs cards from Clock. So yeah. Every character has Brainstorms except for Rio for some reason. Alright, so let's talk about some of these combos. So this Rio combo, it's like one of those where like a bunch of cards can get a specific trigger. In this case, it's a choice trigger. So when you have the choice trigger, the choice climax in climax area, then a bunch of cards can get the choice trigger in their trigger icon when you trigger check them. Unfortunately, I don't think this set has that many synergistic ways to like twin drive. There's like a 1/1 Kita that can like trigger check multiple times, but otherwise, yeah, it's a little bit hard to guarantee trigger checks. I don't think this set has a shuffle back either. So yeah, so this combo, there's a lot more issues with this combo compared to something like in Licorice Recoil, where you have both the double trigger checks as well as the shuffle back. It's a little bit easier to get this off. But yeah, definitely a lot of flavor there, because I think, yeah, she gives every single other girl the choice trigger, so it's like everybody else. Very cool. And then this Kita combo is a standby combo, so she can be played at level 1 if you have the 3/2 double rare Kita in your clock. She gets 4k power if you have 3 or more other characters, and then when you play the standby into your climax area, if this is in front row, you can choose one of your music characters and stand it. So basically, whatever you standby out, it can just stand and attack again. So it's pretty good if you have good attackers, although I think at level 2, Bocchi is specifically missing a lot of powerful attackers, which is a bit of a shame, but that's something that I think this combo will definitely scale better if Bocchi gets more cards, like a second set or something. I would definitely keep an eye out for this combo, because it can only get better with better targets. Alright, let's see. This is anything cool in this third pack. Oh my gosh, we got the drinking event. I like this event a lot. Oh, this is a good one. Yeah, so this Nijika is a center runner and also on play. Pay 1, put the top card of your deck into clock to salvage a music character. So this card is really good. Definitely one of my favorite level 0s in Bocchi. Bocchi actually has a really strong level 0 game in general. A lot of really powerful utility and advantage cards. So that's kind of like a highlight for this set. And then this drinking card is so funny. Non-stop drinking, that's the English name? Yeah, that checks out. So one of the characters in Bocchi is this girl, Kikuri, and she's very well known for being an alcoholic. I think there's a lot of memes made of her. This event's great because it's a 3/0 event. Choose one of your music characters, give it 2k power, and then you can do the following effect as many times as you want. You can pay 1 to look at a top card of your deck, and you can leave it there or put it into a waiting room. So it's kind of like a defensive counter. You just keep doing it until you see a climax. And then you can repeat that as many times as you want, and at the end of all that, you can put this card into your stock. So it's kind of like Kikuri drinking her cheapo sakes in the show, and you basically keep drinking until you get hammered. You see the climax, and you gotta stop. You got hammered, right? So it's pretty funny, pretty good flavor. I think Bocchi flavor is pretty on point overall. Very happy with some of the cards. Just very cool. All right, this climax, we can talk about this combo. Okay, this Futari is really good. This Brainstorm is kind of interesting. Probably worth talking about. Oh, look at that art. Some of the art. So this is kind of like the experience you get with the anime. Sometimes the anime just looks like this, and it's amazing. All right, this is a 2/0 Nijika with the Soul Trigger, another crime against humanity. But it's a pay 3 Brainstorm, which is very unique. This is one of Nijika's 4 Brainstorms. See if you can keep track of all of them. So pay 3 to Brainstorm 3, and then choose a level X or lower music character to summon it for free. And X is the number of music characters hit among those cards. So if you pay 3, you hit all 3, you can summon a level 3 or lower. So this is a way to cheat out a level 3 at level 2 for only 3 stock. I think this card actually has a lot of potential. Again, it gets better the more, I guess, cards we get that are better at level 2 or that get effects when summoned from waiting room. I think one of the weaknesses of this card is that because it only counts music characters and not events, most Bocchi decks do run events, so this can miss on that, which is a little unfortunate. All right, this Futari will work with another Bocchi that we will see later. So I'm going to keep it to the side. We'll talk about those together. And then this Kita combo. This is a really interesting combo. I thought this was so cool, but then I think maybe Busho could have pushed this a little bit more. Because on attack, if you have 3 or more characters, this is on a gold bar, I believe. You can draw up to 1 card, then you can choose a card from your hand and put it into your stock. So I really like that effect because you get a lot of information. You get the draw, so you know what card you're drawing, and you also know what card you're putting in the stock. Because a lot of times, in Weiss Schwarz, a lot of stock effects are blind. You just put the top card of your deck into stock, and you don't know what that is. So that lack of information is really bad. But Kita, being able to put a specific card from your hand to your stock is really good. I think the only issue with the Kita is that I think she should have been able to draw maybe like more than 1 card, or like potentially like check a little bit more. Like just drawing only 1 card seems a little weak. But otherwise, I do think this combo is pretty interesting. And she has hand encore. And plus 1k power if you have a card in your memory. So I think Kita's really interesting. I would be interested in testing with this card a little bit more. I don't think I've tested with this card specifically enough because the lack of like hand generation, because you have to put a card from your hand to stock. Oh, I guess if Kita allowed you to not put a card from your hand to stock, I think Kita would actually be a really strong combo, because you could just draw a card, and then if you like all the cards in your hand, you can just keep them all there. But then the fact that you have to put a card from your hand to stock for Kita means that you can never like generate extra hand. You can only generate extra stock. So that is the unfortunate part of Kita. Yeah, but I'm interested. I hope Busho tries designs like this a little bit more. It's definitely very interesting. All right, let's see. Oh, this reel is crazy cool. All right, this 2-1 mango box is going to come into play later. We will talk about it later. And 3-2 Kita combo. Okay, let's talk about the combos. All right, so this is the level 3 standby combo. It is on play, heal to stock, so discard and heal the top card of your clock into stock. And then the combo is you can choose one of your characters to get on attack burn 1, and this lasts until the end of turn. So the idea with this Kita combo is you stack all the burn 1s onto a off finisher, and there's 2 pretty good off finishers, but the off finisher that's like probably the best is the Kita. There's a restanding Kita. So you have 2 of these, you give it to the restanding Kita, and the Kita will be able to burn 1 twice on every attack, and it restands once. So veteran Weiss Schwarz players will remember Marika from Nisekoi. This is just build your own Marika in modern day. So it's pretty cool. It's definitely very fun. All right, this Ryo is very cool. Gets 4k power if you have a Ryo in play on when you play it from hand. If you have another Ryo, it gets 4k power, and then on play you can pay 1 to choose a trait on your opponent's stage, and then all your opponent's characters lose that trait. So it's not as relevant right now, but against something like Slime, for example, you can make them all lose Demon Continent, and then their entire board just falls apart. So definitely a really strong tech card. If you have space in your deck to fit 1 in, it's always a good choice. Sometimes it'll come up and it'll just win the game on the spot. All right, this Gotou, I'm keeping my eye on, not for this set, but for future sets, because it's been a while since they printed one of these effects. You can put a card from your hand to waiting room, put this card from the stage to the waiting room to summon a level 1 or lower music character to the position that this is in. And you can only do this if you don't have another character, so this has to be alone on the stage. And right now, there's not very strong targets at level 1 to summon out, but traditionally, Busho has printed this kind of effect with a lot of really powerful, like 1/1 cards that, if you get them out at level 0, just kind of can snowball the game. So I'm kind of looking forward to maybe them giving Bocchi something like that in the future. And then this card would be a really cool card that you can play with that. All right, and then this Nijika Drop Search is really good. It's like on play, on death Drop Search. And then if you have another Nijika, when you play it, it gets 2k power. And the brainstorms in this set are all Nijika. So that should let you know how easy it is to get another Nijika name on this board. So yeah, this card definitely very nice. All right, let's see here. We talked about that combo already. Oh, our first double rare. This is the Bocchi-chan Hitori Gotou, and this will work with this Futari, so we'll talk about these together. Let's see, Twin Driver. I guess we'll put all the event package stuff together. Oh, this is the 2-1 Kita Climax. All right. Okay, so let's talk about these 2 together. Oh, I guess we'll talk about these 2 together, and then we'll save this because this works with another rare, Ryo. But basically, this Bocchi is this is one of the KBRs that has like a signature, I think. And then when this gets reversed, it has 2 effects on reverse. You can look at up to 3 cards of your deck, add 1 music, or Disgraceful History, which is the red event. You put the rest in your waiting room. And then when it comes to reverse, you can also send if your opponent is level 0 or lower, the opponent character, you can send that to stock and then pay out 1 stock. So Stock Bomb and on reverse Rize, so really good pair of effects. And then the Futari works with this because when the Futari is played, you can discard a card and then salvage a level X or lower music character, where X is the number of this Hitori in your waiting room. So if you want 4 of this, and you have like 3 in waiting room, then Futari can get literally any character. So these 2 cards work really well. Futari is one of the best kind of like hand filter utility options in the set. So definitely these 2 cards being played out, usually it's like 4-2 or 4-3 is like pretty common numbers, and it's basically a staple in any deck that can fit red. And also being able to play 4 Hitoris means that you actually get to probably splash in yellow as well. So really, really nice. Definitely really good. All right, first double rare. Very exciting. Okay, yeah, once again, the first box is probably gonna be a little slow, and then the second box hopefully will be a little quicker. It's like a 4K beater. Honestly, like there's a lot of really good cards in Bocchi. I could talk about like almost all of them. Oh, this is the funny one. They're all worth a read. Bocchi had a lot of like really interesting effects. There's like there's just some effects that they've never given like any other set before this, and I guess no set after this yet. So I really like the creativity here. All right, so this Bocchi, this Bocchi has a 1075. So you imagine there has to be a pretty crazy downside, right? So the downside is if there are no cards in memory, this card gets minus 5,000 power and minus 1 soul. So as you can see, it only has 1 soul. So if you have no cards in memory, this actually doesn't deal damage. It's a 2,500 power 0 soul attacker. Now that might sound like a crazy downside, which it is, right? Especially at level 1. But the funny thing is at level 3, that actually stops being a downside, because there are some instances where you don't want to swing for too much damage at the end game, and like we've all been in situations where we get to our last attack at level 3 and we realize that the attack is going to swing for an extra damage. Like our opponent is at 3-6 and the attack is going to be swinging for 2 or 3, and like we know that they cancel at 2 or 3, then it's pretty bad, right? But this Bocchi is really interesting because it can be 2 soul, or it can be 1 soul, 2 soul with the climax. But then if you can get rid of all your memory before her attack, then she can actually go down a soul and swing for 1 less. So she could swing for 1 damage with the climax. Currently, there's not a really good way to kind of utilize that. But there are effects even in Bocchi so far that can send cards from memory to waiting room, or like just cards out of memory. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. It's like a really cool thought experiment kind of thing. I do want to see this card kind of swing for 1 for lethal. That would be really cool. But yeah. This is another Nijiko Brainstorm, so you guys can keep track of how many Nijiko Brainstorms we've seen. This one is kind of weird because if you do not have another character in your backstage, then she gets the effect of frontal 1k, and the characters in front of her get encore, pay 2 encore. And then her Brainstorm is a top check 3 Brainstorm. So it is kind of weird that you can't have another character in backstage. It is flavor, because the idea is that their band is 4 people, right? So it's the guitarist, lead vocal, bassist, and the drums. So there's no 5th member, so that's why you can't have another backstage. But in the game, that's a big detriment, because the backstage is a place where you could put a card that you don't have to keep on hand, right? So it's a little unfortunate. Oh, nice. We got this rare that we can talk about, these 2 together. This is Climax Swap, top check 2. This is Ina from Hololive without the soul trigger, so it's very balanced. And then this is a good standby card, which is it bounces back to hand when you play a climax to give a character 2k power. So always really nice to see this in decks that have standby. And then this is a frontal assist 2k to level 3s or higher. And this is kind of a effect that I want to call out because if you're looking for that effect, because that can be relevant in some decks, then that's where it is. All right. So this Rio is an early play healer, 2 or less climaxes in waiting room. It heals on play, and then if you play this card from hand, you can choose your a Bocchi from stage, this Bocchi specifically, send it to the waiting room, and if you do, you play that card with 0 cost. And that's a continuous effect. So because it's a continuous effect, you do it before you play it down on the stage. And so like, even if you have a full board and this is on the stage, you can, because it's a continuous effect, you can send this for the cost before you play it down. So that's a pretty cool kind of synergy there. All right, I guess we should put our double rares aside in the corner. Yeah, sometimes it's worded like that, where it's like a continuous effect. Sometimes it's worded like an auto effect. So you have to kind of read the card to really know. All right, this bonds with a 2/1 Kita. So we'll set that aside. See if we can find. Ooh, another double rare. Very nice. This is 3/2 Kita. We got Bocchi Dino Bocchi, and we have the Disgraceful History event. We're gonna set these all aside because there's like 5 cards that work with Disgraceful History. So we're gonna just set them all aside and talk about them all at once because that'll probably be easier. This one also works with Disgraceful History. This does. Let's pull out the 2/1 Kita that we talked about earlier. Oh, is it in this pile? It's in this pile, I think. Yeah. So the 2/1 Kita needs this 3/2 Kita in clock to be early played. So that's kind of showing it off here. There's another counter that also works with this 3/2 Kita. We'll bring that up when I see it. So this 3/2 Kita, 4 more other music characters, or I guess 4 more music characters in general. It gets -1 level in hand. And then if you have 3 or more other characters, this gets 2k power. And if this card is in your front row, all your music characters get +15. So if you fulfill all conditions, she's just 12k base. She's a very big girl, but no on-play effect, unfortunately. So she works kind of well in standby decks because you can standby her out and get all her effects. But she can also be played from hand if you need to. So kind of interesting, a bit of flexibility, but the lack of on-play effect definitely does hurt her. Not as good as other, I guess, early play healers or like early play cards, like characters that can like draw you cards or whatever. Yeah. All right, this is one of the few Seika cards. I think this is the only Seika card actually. She gives your Hitori's and Nijika's power. This is level 1 anti-change, anti-overlevel, send to stock. We call them adachis, but basically when it gets reversed, if the character reversing it has a level greater than your opponent's level, then you can send it to stock. So always good to have one of these. And oh, we hit a KBR. That's cool. So this is the 3 in a case. We got the Ikuyo Kita Limit Break. Limit Break? Is that Vanguard? Limit Break KBR. Oh, I love this. So Kita is like this very extroverted, very, passionate girl. And one of the jokes that they make in the show is that whenever she's kind of exuding her extroverted, outgoing aura, her personality, she sparkles and shines, and then the sound effect is Kitan. It's like her name. Yeah, it's very, very cute. So the foiling on it is rainbow, which looks amazing. And then we got the Kessoku Band stamp. So in Japanese, I guess they use zip ties for this, or I don't think it's not called. I don't think zip ties are called Kessoku Band in Japanese, but they use zip ties for like their thing. It's really funny. This is a weird story, but I went to Walmart and they actually sell zip ties in the 4 girls colors. I don't know if that's in Japan as well, but like the colored zip ties at Walmart are like pink, red, blue, and yellow. It's actually insane. They're just they're color coded correctly. So if you want like legit merch, you could just go to Walmart, buy some colored zip ties. It's in the exact same colors. I don't know how that works. Anyways, this card is really cool. So the continuous effect is all your characters in your backstage cannot be chosen by your opponent's effects, which is really insane. Like, I'm still trying to think of how to best utilize this ability. But for one, in like standby decks, when you standby a card to your back row, sometimes your opponent can play cards like the Hachama to like freeze it or to do other stuff to it, or like bounce it with like a wind trigger or something like that. But this protects it, so this could see some use in standby because of that, which is kind of cool. And then it has 2 axe effects, so you can, if you don't have any markers under it, you can rest it to choose 1 in High Spirits Under the Sun or music character in your waiting room. So I think in High Spirits Under the Sun is the event. I think we pulled it. Yeah, this one, in High Spirits Under the Sun. It's a 1/1 event. It can reveal up to 2 cards from the top of your deck. You can add up to 2 in High Spirits Under the Sun or music characters to your hand, and the rest to the waiting room. So it's it's a pretty good event. Can plus potentially. So you can marker one of them underneath it, and then you can pay 1, rest this card to return 1 marker underneath this card to your hand. So it's like a pay 1, get a card over the course of 2 act abilities, right? So that's usually 2 turns. Currently in Bocchi, we don't have any effects to allow you to use a act ability or a tap ability multiple times in a turn, but we could potentially in the future. But yeah, so for now it's basically you pay 1, get a card over the course of 2 turns, which is a little slow, unfortunately, for the modern speed of Weiss Schwarz. But again, if we get more support for this specific effect in the future, then it could come up. Yeah, that was cool. Nice. Yeah, very cool. All right, and then this video I do want to talk about her because this is very funny. This card is pretty good in my testing. I initially did not think this card was very good, but after playing around with it, I think this card's actually really OP. So on play, you can send a character from your stage to the waiting room to return a climax from your waiting room to your hand. So being able to access any climax from your waiting room at level 3 is really strong. Another set that has this is Arifureta, and that level 3 is also really good. And then the second effect is when it attacks, you can pay the cost, which is 2 stock. Afterwards, you have to put all your stock into the waiting room, and then you can choose up to 3 cards from your opponent's waiting room and return it to your deck, and your opponent shuffles their deck. So basically, you would return 3 clean cards back to your opponent's deck, and then you would decompress them that way. This card is really strong because if your opponent's down to like a few cards left in deck, and you know that they don't have any more climaxes, the shuffle back 3 is basically 3 guaranteed damage. And it's it's just like a really good threat. Like your opponent basically can't go down to low cards in deck because they have the potential to just get completely hosed by this reel. And this reel also helps you get to your climax combo at level 3, no matter what it is, as long as it's the waiting room. So definitely very, very powerful combination of effects. Evil Plan, Hitori Gotou. This art always scares me. This card's also really weird. When your opponent uses an act, you can draw a card. If you do, choose a card in your hand and put it in your waiting room. That's not once per turn. And some decks can use acts like all the time. This also works in counter step because backups are acts. So like, this card can get really out of hand. I haven't really been able to use it that successfully, but in theory, this card can be like really insane. But yeah, it also very dependent on your opponent. If your opponent doesn't use any acts, then this card kind of doesn't do anything. All right, this card, Overlapping Sounds Kessoku Band. This card is probably... Is this card the best card? This card's like the best or the second best card in the set, in my opinion. So it's on play. If you have 2 or more other music characters, you draw a card and then you discard a card. And then also on play, you can put a music character from your hand to the waiting room to draw a card. So it's effectively just draw 2 cards, 1 at a time, and discard 2 cards. One of them has to be a music. So like, that's so good. It's like, it's so powerful. It's just insane. This card is so good. I think if you're playing a deck that really needs to draw like specific cards or specifically like events and climaxes that are hard to get into your hand, like you could consider playing this card at like 4. I think this card is like a really comfortable 2 of in most decks, just because like the effect is just so powerful. But you could go all the way up to 4, and like I think Standby, for example, would really appreciate the card at 4. Ooh, nice. We got another foil. This is the Trait Nuke Rio. Oh, nice. We got the Nijika, the Climax combo. So we can talk about it. That's what this is the... You can see her eyes. They're matching. And then this Kita is works with this Bocchi. So let's talk about these real quick. So the Bocchi bonds to this Kita. This Kita is a 2/1 with a soul trigger and an extra soul, 7/5 100 power. So it loses 1k power for the extra soul. And then this Gotou, I guess it doesn't bond to it, but it gives all your Kitas plus 2/5 power and the following abilities. It cannot be chosen by your opponent's effects, and when it attacks, you can pay 1 to trigger check twice. And this Gotou also can, you can discard a card from your hand, put this to the bottom of your deck to choose a character in your waiting room and turn it back to your hand. So this is kind of interesting. You could play this in Standby, but I think the current Standby list, there's not that much room for it. But this is like theoretically like a really strong Standby target if you have this on board, because it becomes 10k 2 soul hexproof twin drive. It's very interesting. You can also just hard play this at level 2 without feeling very bad because it only costs 1 stock. So definitely some stuff here potentially. Could also work with like if we in the future if we get like a level 0 climax combo or something weird, or like maybe like a level 0 climax combo, then this could be like our level 1 to level 2 game. Pretty cool. And then this 2/1 Nijika combo. 1k for every other of your music characters, and then when this card attacks, if you have this in play, and 3 or more other music characters, look at up to top 4, choose a music character, and then you perform trigger check twice. So you basically get a card and a stock. The card comes from the top 4, and the stock comes in the form of an extra trigger check, which is usually better than like a stock from anywhere else, because if that trigger has like a soul trigger, then you get extra damage. If it has a climax trigger, then you can get the effects. So actually, this combo is pretty good. It's kind of like Alice. It's the same power level as Alice. Unfortunately, it does require you to go through your deck a lot, which is where Alice was like really powerful, because it did not go through your deck at all. So it just made sure that if you had good compression, you would continue to have good compression. This one, you kind of have to like, yeah, kind of have to go through your deck a bit, but it's still really good. I think this combo has a lot of potential. Definitely could see potentially a lot of play as well. Alright, another Kikuri card. We have the non-KBR version. We have this real... Oh, we caught the combo and the climax for it. So the combo is you play this climax, pay 1. If you have 3 or less stock, I guess you have to have 3 or less stock first. You pay 1, and then you summon 3 level 0 lower characters to anywhere on the stage. I mean, Bocchi does have a lot of really good level 0s, to be fair. I think the issue with this combo specifically is the 3 or less stock condition. It basically means you just can't get a lot of stock, and a lot of the end games in Bocchi require a lot of stock, so there's a bit of an anti-synergy there. Okay, anything here in the close? Nothing. Got the level 3 Rio Climax. I think we're missing some double rares still, though. We only have 2 double rares. I don't think I've missed any double rares. I should know the double rares in this set. So I think these next 2 packs should have double rares. Alright, we got the real double rare. That's really good. Okay, anti-change counter. On death aqua effect. Just gonna call those 2 effects out really quickly. Alright, time to talk about the mango box. Alright, so the mango box, if you have experience 5, you can choose up to 1 surging power Hitori to put from hand to stage, and you put this face up underneath the character as a marker, like this. And Gotou, it gets 1k power for every marker underneath the card. Whenever it reverses a battle opponent, you can choose a character with Hitori in its name to put underneath this card as a marker, for example, like this one. If it gets reversed, you can just keep stacking underneath. And then when this card is put from stage into the waiting room, you can return this card. It's optional. You can return this card to your hand, and if you do, you choose a character with Hitori in its name in your waiting room to put it into your stock. So it's kind of interesting because if you get it out with the mango, so you lose the mango event, you play this for free, so you're -1 card in hand, but you technically plus 1 stock for playing this for free. So -1 stand, or -2 hand, -1 stock. You get an 11/5 body that's like ready to start ramping, and then when this dies, this goes back to your hand, so you plus back to your hand, so you're only -1 hand from playing the event, and you get your stock back. So it's kind of like you got this out for free. So it's kind of a cool little package. I do think it's pretty strong, actually. Just because the fact that the Hitori comes back and also refunds you the stock. I think the only issue is that Ripe Mangoes is it's a miss for some of your effects. But that's about it. Also the On Death Aqua, I'll just put it in this pile because it also synergizes with the Memories event. There's like 2 more cards you gotta pull for the whole package. If we don't pull them, I'll just kind of talk about them on their own later. Oh, nice! We got the really good Brainstorm. We got another Nijika Brainstorm. Remember, Nijika has 4 Brainstorms in the set. Hope you guys are keeping track. So this Brainstorm... Oh, wait. We didn't even talk about the real level 3 card combos. This is just Marin, basically. So on play, and Marin from Hololive. So on play, send the character from stage to waiting room, top check up to 3, 1 to hand, 1 to stock, rest of the waiting room. And then the class combo, at the end of attack, you can pay 1, ditch your music. And Marin is burn 2 plus 1500 power, I think. Rio is just burn 3. So a pretty good finisher. I mean, the on-play Marin effect, which is the top check 3, 1 to hand, 1 to stock, 1 to waiting room, is just so strong. So that's really good. And then this Nijika has a soul trigger. It's a crime. +1 hand size. So you get +1 to the limit of the number of cards in your hand. It's also a crime. I think that's OP. It's so good. And then it's a Salvage Brainstorm. So, I mean, this card is the best card in Bocchi. It's like, by far. This card's so crazy. So good. It has a soul trigger. You can salvage it with choice. Like, what? It's crazy. Alright, this is a Fumio effect. So on play, pay 1, ditch 1. Your opponent chooses the climax, shuffles everything else back. Also has an extra soul, so kind of cool. Just calling out the decompression tools in Bocchi. And then this Steeped White Hitori Gotou climax combo. Early play, 2 or less climaxes, so same as the real early play. On play heal, so same thing. And then climax combo, if you have the scream, you saw the scream choice combo climax. You can either top check 2 of your opponent's deck and then send as many of them as you want to the waiting room, so it's the mocha combo. Or you can salvage a music and then blind stock 1. So basically, you know, if you want advantage, you can get resources. Otherwise, if you want to kind of go for a push, you can try to hit some climaxes out of your opponent's deck. Pretty cool. All right, so first box was already really exciting. We pulled the best double rares, some really good double rares, and we pulled a KVR. And it looks like it's going to be 3 foils per box. That's what I had originally assumed, but I just didn't say it. Most English products now are 3 per box. That's just pretty common. Woo. Yeah. Oh, I can't open these. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully the second box will go just a little quicker since we've seen most of the cards already. So there's just a few more that we're looking for. And I think we've talked about every single combo except for the missing double rare. I think the missing combos are all double rare. It's like double rare Nijika, double rare. Oh, I got another real. 2 of the same PR. Interesting. I think it's just double rare Nijika and double rare Bocchi combos. I don't think we have any lower rarity combos to talk about. So that's going to be a lot faster as well. Because generally speaking, I like to highlight the climax combos. That's kind of what you're really building around in a set. Oh, first foil is the 2-1 Nijika 2K support, 2 frontal characters. I really like this one because the art is so different from the normal art. And I mean, Kita is just a gorgeous human being. Alright. Yeah, really. Oh, this is a card we can talk about. This is the 1-1 real counter, and it works with the 3-2 Kita. So when you play the counter, when you use the counter's backup, if you have this in your hand, you can discard this to refresh your deck. So it's a refresh counter, but it requires you to be playing the Kita, which granted is like not every deck is going to be able to play it. So there's a little bit of like, how do I say it? Only some decks get to take advantage of that, but the decks that do get to take advantage, it's a free fresh counter, which is really strong. Like not every deck gets to have a free fresh counter, and it's definitely a privilege. And then this free fresh counter also costs only 1 stock because you discard a card. Usually free fresh counter costs like pay 2 or something like that. Oh nice, we hit the double rare Nijika. So our first double rare from the second box, and this is the one that this works with the Rio, so we can finally retire this Rio. Alright, so this Rio, when another music is front attack, you can send this to waiting room to give it 1k power. You're not usually going to use that because you're going to use the first effect. When this card gets reversed, you can put this card into your clock to search your deck for up to one of these affirmation for the future Nijikas and put it onto the stage position that it was in as rested. Now this Nijika has a soul trigger, it's costless. Nijika's such a good girl, but why is she committing so many card game crimes and Weiss? So during your turn, it gets 1k for each of your other music characters. For the full board, it's 7k power offensively. And then on attack, if you have the choice climax in climax area, and you have a full board, so 4 more other music characters, you can choose a music character in your waiting room and either return to your hand or put it to stock. If you put it to your stock, she gains an additional 2k power. So if you put it to stock, she actually attacks for 10k. 10k at level 1. That's crazy. That's so big. And if you salvage it, she's still attacking for 8k, which is really good. I think the one kind of weakness of this combo is that it does require full board. So if you're unlucky in the early game and you don't have full board, then you can't salvage at all. You just don't plus on the combo. But that's why this reel is really nice, because this reel converts into a copy of the Nijika without using any of your hand. So it's just like a +1. It'll help you get to the full board condition a lot easier. And because the Rio is 500 power, she's just probably gonna get reversed. So that's kind of nice. Oh, we have another foil. This is a Rio. This Rio. Oh, we got the Kita restander as well. Yeah. So this is when on the turn that she's played. If she gets if she reverses a battle opponent, you can pay 1 ditch 2 music to restand herself. And then if you have 2 or more memory, she gets plus 2500 power and hexproof, which is really strong. Can't be targeted. And this reel is, if you don't have any characters in your front row, this card gets +1 level and plus 4k power. So she becomes a 5/5 level 1 at level 0, which is insane. If there's a way to get this card consistently out on your first turn, this card would be absolutely crazy. I do like the distinction that they made between Ryo and Bocchi. So in the show, there's like this one scene where Bocchi first meets Ryo and she thinks she's found another like introvert, another loner like her. But then she realizes that Ryo, unlike her, Ryo chooses to be lonely and alone, but Bocchi like is alone by kind of like necessity, right? So that's why Bocchi's cards require you to have no characters on your stage at all, but the real loner card only requires you to have no other characters in your front row, but you can still have characters in your back row. It's kind of like showing like the difference. Yeah, like for example this one, right? You can't have any other characters at all. So I thought that was really cool that they put that into like the flavor of the cards, because it was like an actual scene in the show where Bocchi talks about this. All right, we got another copy of the Kita double rare, so doubled up on that one. Unfortunately, nothing here, nothing too special. Yeah, a lot of the cards that I'm highlighting today we will be showcasing in our gameplay decks that I've built, so it's kind of why I do want to make sure we talk. Oh wait, I forgot about this combo. Oh, we did have one more combo that was not double rare that we did not talk about. All right, so 2 combos. We got a double rare Hitori Gotou combo. This is the it's like Itsuki from Quints, right? So on attack, you can with the door, you can ditch 1, top check up to 3, add all music or this event, the Disgraceful History event, and then rest go to waiting room. So if you reveal all 3 and you add all 3, then you +2. Otherwise, if you reveal 2, then you +1. If it's 1, you go even, which means you don't plus at all. So it's kind of high risk, high reward. Very high reward. Not that high of a risk, but still pretty good. It's a really good combo if you need a lot of hand. And there are a few Bocchi decks that take advantage of having a ton of hand. So in those decks, you're trying to play this Gotou combo. Actually, this is one of the Bocchi decks that wants a lot of hand. This Nichika deck. So this Nichika choice combo, it's on the on-play effect. Also activates if it gets summoned by the effect of her climax combo. You can draw up to 2 cards, discard 2 cards, and then put the top card of your deck into stock. So you don't plus in hand, but you do refund a stock used to play her. And then at the end of the card's attack, if you have the climax in play, you pay 3, ditch 2, put this into memory to summon a character from your waiting room to the same position as her. And then that summoned character, you know, if it's another Nichika, it'll draw 2, ditch 2, and give you another stock. So because of that, Nichika is actually really stock efficient, because every Nichika is going to be able to attack and get their on-play effect from the climax combo. So it's like you're only playing 1 stock. However, every time you have to discard 2 cards for the climax combo, and you don't have that many cards, generally speaking. So that's why for the Nichika, it works really well with this Bocchi, because the Bocchi will get you a lot of cards in hand. And then with the Nichika Brainstorms, you can hold up to 9, which allows you to potentially just do the combo like, yeah, four times, like loop through all the combo. That's kind of like the ideal. And then also because it draws 2 ditch 2s, then you also have a higher chance of drawing into the other Nichikas, so that you can loop through all of them. Like if the other Nichikas are in your deck, then you need a way to get to them, right? So yeah, so that combo is really cool. I definitely like that a lot. We will be showcasing it as well in one of our gameplay videos. It's one of the decks I haven't had enough time to test as much, just because I think the deck itself, it's like I've had bad experiences playing like the whole like go to memory summon back, because like 1 memory kick counter just ends. Oh, nice! We got the level 3. We got the level 3 Bocchi. That's like, oh, it's like basically every climax combo. Is that every climax combo? We got every climax combo. Let's go! I'm pretty sure that's every climax combo. It's like 2 per character, I think. I think that's it. Yeah. Or it's 3 per character. Nice. Okay. We're just missing the 2-1 event. Oh, if we can get the 2-1 event. I think the 1-0 too. I don't think I've seen it. Alright, so this Bocchi, on play, you heal a music character from your clock to the bottom of your deck, which is weird. I don't know why they did that. And then on attack, if you have Breakthrough Overdrive in the climax area and experience 6, so Bocchi is kind of an experience deck, which makes sense because she gets experience over the course of the show. It's so much flavor. Alright, you pay the cost, which is you ditch 2 cards and put a Disgraceful Memory from Disgraceful History from memory to the waiting room. It's like because she She gets over her disgraceful past, all the bad memories she gets over. Oh, you know, okay, all right. And then she gets 3,000 power, and then you perform the following action twice. You put the top card of your deck into your waiting room, and then you deal X damage, where X is equal to 2 if you milled a climax, or 1 if you did not. And so at worst, it's just burn 1, burn 1. If you just mill 2 non-climax cards. But if you mill climaxes, it could be burn 1, burn 2, or burn 2, burn 2. And it doesn't cost any stock. So this combo is actually surprisingly good. I think kind of underrated a bit. It's definitely not like Gura levels of craziness or consistency, but it is a lot of finishing power. Like burn 1, burn 2, or burn 2, burn 2 is really good. And so this is my personal go-to finisher in Bocchi, because I think this, alongside a Nijika that we haven't seen yet. Yeah, there's an off-climax Nijika that's really insane. The two of those cards together make for actually a really powerful finishing turn, and I think Bocchi has the ability to kill from really high range if you kind of set up your finishing turn the right way. All right, well, we have hit every single double rare from this box, so we're just missing one more foil. Just missing a foil, and then hopefully we can pull the 2-1 event. Hopefully we can pull the... Oh, that's a foil. Alright, unfortunately, just find the corners. It doesn't look like it's... It looks like it's just a... what is it? An SR? Which one is it? It's the 2-1 Bocchi made costume. Alright, so this one is... It's not a bad card. It's a 2-1... hand encore or music encore, and it's also a global level support if you have experience 3 or higher. So this card actually comes up in the standby deck because you can standby this out at level 1. It's a global level support that also works in the front row because it has hand encore, so you can always protect it, and it buffs all your other characters. So it allows you to have like 2 back row for like utility, and have like the power. Usually like one of your back row has to be like power, but you can front row your power back row. And then if you play this alongside the 2-1 Kita, 3-2 Kita, the 3-2 Kita will give this an additional 1500 power. And so it kind of you actually get these like really big boards where all the kind of the power buffing effects are on your front row, and your back row can be left for utility cards. So that's really cool. Oh, nice! We did hit the 2-1 event. Oh, let's go. Oh, we're just missing the 1-0. Oh man, there's a 1-0. I think it's an uncommon. I can't believe we haven't hit it yet. But we're missing a 1-0 so that we can talk about this entire disgraceful history event package. So let's see if we can pull the 1-0. I haven't seen it yet, which is crazy. It's like an uncommon, I think. After opening these, I'll double check in that big stack to make sure we didn't pull it earlier. I don't think I saw it. Wait. Oh, there's a 5th double rare in this box. I guess if we pull a KBR or better, we only get 4 double rares, and then if we don't pull a KBR or better, we get 5. Okay, that makes sense. I think that checks out. I think. Cool. I mean, I'm pretty sure that checks out. Blue Archive was like that, so that makes sense to me. Oh my gosh, we did not pull it. I'm pretty sure we did not pull it. All right, let's. How do we not pull an uncommon? That's crazy. All right, give me just a moment. I'm going to look through all of these real quick. It's like the one where she's tied to the stick. I'm pretty sure if we pulled it, I would have brought it up because it's like such a visually, it's a very striking image. It's the one where Bocchi's getting burned at the stake. So like, of course I'll remember it. Yeah, I don't think we pulled it. Maybe for the better, I don't know. Does that go against like YouTube policy? Is literally just getting burned at the stake? Yeah, we did not pull it. That's insane. Alright, we will pretend that the card exists in my hand, and we'll do our best job to talk about the card as if it exists in my hand. Yeah, I don't have it. We didn't pull it. 2 boxes did not pull an uncommon. Insane. That's crazy. Alright, pretty sure it's uncommon. I don't think it was a rare. Okay, let's talk about the Disgraceful Memory package. There's a lot of cards here. This is kind of the whole Bocchi theme going on here. Alright, so Disgraceful History. There's 2 events with the same name, which means you can only run 4 of them combined. So generally speaking, most decks are on 3-1 or 2-2. Or they don't play this, then just play this. Okay, so this one is just a mask event. So search your deck for a music character, show it to your opponent, add to your hand, this goes to memory. This 2-1 is kind of like a stock swap. So your opponent sends all their stock back into their deck, shuffles their deck, and then stocks the same number. So it's a shuffle back stock swap. And then you choose one of your music, gets 4k power, and this goes to memory. Right, so that's how the events go to memory. You can also send them to memory through the effect of this Desperate Adlib Hitori Gotou. So on play from hand, if your memory is 2 or less, you can choose a Disgraceful History from your waiting room, put into memory. This also salvages a card from your waiting room. So this is another way to kind of cheat these into memory without paying the stock. It's a very, very useful card. If you want to get the Disgraceful Histories to hand, we have this Hitori. It's a back row. So first effect, when one of your other characters gets reversed in battle, you can choose one of your characters, give it 1k power, and then you can, as an act ability, you can pay 1, clock yourself on the top of your deck, rest this card. You can choose any music character or Disgraceful History from your waiting room, add it to your hand. So that's kind of how you get the events to hand if you don't already have them in hand and you want to like guarantee get them. This also can add Disgraceful History when you reveal for the Aqua effect, and as well as this one can also add Disgraceful History when you reveal for the top climax combo. And the payoff for Disgraceful History are basically these 2 cards. So this Hitori Gotou, it's if you have Disgraceful Memory in stock, and you play this from hand to stage, you can choose one of them to put into your stock. So it's like you use 1 stock to play this to memory, and if you want to get the stock back, you can play this to put it to stock. Generally speaking, decks don't play this because you want to keep them in memory for the effect of level 3 Bocchi, which is you need to send them from memory to waiting room to get the burn effect off. Now the last card, as you can see, imaginary in my hand, right here, it is the Bocchi burning at the stake. And when you play it from hand, you can discard a card to choose a Disgraceful History event in your memory and add it back to your hand. And why that's really relevant is in the decks that run 3 of the 1-1 and 1 of the 2-1, you can send the 2-1 to memory early, and then you can use the 1-0 Bocchi to add it back to your hand to play it to send it back to memory. And that's how you can always get your stock swap effect. Because it's a lot easier to get the 1-0 character in your hand and then do that to get the stock swap than to like hold the stock swap or like finagle it, right? So I really like that card because it just gives you one of these options like on the fly, and you obviously can just immediately play and it goes back. So that's kind of like the whole Disgraceful Memory kind of package. Those are all the cards that refer to it. So it's a really big package. And because the stock swap it's good, it's decompression. I think a lot of decks do tend to run that. All right, so that was our 2 boxes. As you can see, our double rare pulls were right here. Our foil pulls are right here, and we did pull a lovely looking KBR. Very, very nice. But after this, I'm gonna clear out the cards real quick, and then we're gonna go over some of the cards we did not pull, some double rares, and show off some of the beautiful SPs of the set. So let me clear this up real quick. Alright, so as you can see, here are all the double rares from Bocchi. There are 10 in total, 4 yellow, 3 green, and 3 red. We pulled all the red ones, and we pulled 3 of the yellow ones, so the only 3 that we have not seen are these 3. So this Kita, if all your characters are music, gets 1k power, so 2k base. And then when it gets reversed in battle, you can put a card from your hand to your clock, put this card into your memory to search your deck for a music character. So it's a very good effect for guaranteeing specific cards from your deck in the early game, and it also gets you a way to clock yourself at level 0 so you can hit level 1 quicker. The downside of this card is that it has to get reversed in battle, so a lot of card effects can deny that by either like bombing it away, sending it to somewhere else without reversing it, and it also means that you can't clock yourself during your main phase. So if you're at 0-6 and you want to clock yourself to level 1 so you can use your level 1 climax combo immediately, this card can't help you do that, but it does help you get memory, and there's a lot of memory synergies in Bocchi. So it is a card that some decks can play, but I don't think it belongs in every single Bocchi deck. Alright, this level 0 Rio, it's a really good card. So when it attacks, you can choose one of your other music characters, and it gets plus X power, where X is equal to the number of your music characters times 500. So if you have a full board, she'll be able to buff another character by 2000 power on attack, which is very, very good. And then at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, if there's a character across from her, she can run to any open position. So we call this, or at least I like to call this a runaway runner, because she's running away from conflict. And this is a really powerful set of effects. Runaway runners are really good at staying alive. If you go first, you play this on an empty board, you're probably going to keep this alive. Your opponent has to be able to beat 2k in every single lane, and that's not always going to happen. And then even in the late game, the power pump of this card can be very effective. It can come up. So I think this is definitely a really powerful level 0 card, and really good if you need green, because this is just an easy way to splash in green to any deck. Alright, and last but not least, Sentiment Source Starry Nijika. It's a level assist. And then the second effect, you discard a copy of herself from the hand, rest 2 of your characters, to put the top 2 cards of your deck into your stock. So basically you trade a copy of her for 2 stock. To any extra copies that you draw, get value by becoming stock. Now, this would be great if stock was the issue in Bocchi decks, which is sometimes is. So for like the triple Bocchi deck, stock can be the issue. For the Nijika, there's a Nijika rare that we didn't see, but it's like on attack, pay 4, ditch 1, burn 2. So that, if you're playing that would require like a lot of stock. But generally speaking, if you're doing the Bocchi finisher or the Nijika Climax Combo finisher, you need hand more than stock. And then Rio is just very stock and resource efficient in general, so you don't need this effect. But I think this card is really good because it could come up in the future that we get a very stock intensive finisher rather than a hand intensive finisher, and then this could have its chance to shine. Alright, last but not least, here at Tressa Collectibles, we definitely open a lot of product, and Mike has graciously given me some SPs to show off, and I'm really excited to show off just how beautiful the SSPs look in Bocchi the Rock. So let's start with the first one, this Nijika. Look at that. The lines on the background from the double rare are all now completely foiled. The foiling pattern is yellow to match her character color. Even her little bow tie is foiled. Zoomed out a lot more so you can see more of her stylish figure, and you have her entire signature. This is a signature, no stamps for this one. Incredible looking OFR foiling on the text box as well. So there's no no border here, just completely borderless. Got a nice gold trim on that soul trigger as well. Yeah, really nice. And a quote from Nijika herself in the anime. I actually don't recognize which moment this was. Watashi ni wa hontou ni hiro. Oh, this is the Bocchi You're My Hero quote. Oh, this moment was so good. All right. So next we have, so every character has 2 SSPs. So one is this nice looking art from the double rares, and then the other one is this kind of like really detailed, and these are actually album arts from the Bocchi. So Bocchi, the Kessoku Band produces music in the show, and also in real life they had albums released of like their character songs and the songs they performed in the show. And so every character had their own character song that was also played as like an ending thing during the anime. So this is Ryo's character song. This is Kara Kara. That's the key art for it, so it looks very good. Also with the OFR treatment. Yeah, I mean the album art looks really good, and yeah, it's really nice. It looks really good. All right, this is Kita's. So this one's kind of interesting because there's so much red on Kita. I mean, Kita is her character color is red, and so there's a ton of red foiling, but it's a green card. So this card is kind of confusing to look at because of that, but it's still freaking beautiful. Wonderfully looking card. And what is this? What is this quote? Hontou wa Gotou-san wa kakkoi da. Something about Bocchi being really cool. Yeah, it's kind of hard to read. Oh, guys, we have the Bocchi one too. So the Bocchi's character color is pink, so you can see the pink kind of the lines. They really pop out on this one especially. I just really like the color pink, honestly. Yeah, wonderful, amazing foiling. Let's separate the character ones from the album art ones. Okay, and so this is one of the KBRs. This is the most unique KBR. So you can see the other KBRs, like the Kita one, are kind of featuring their chibi arts with the Kessoku Band stamp. This KBR has a Bocchi character sign. And so this is the 13th KBR. So this one is really cool. It's the stock bomb, and it does have like some really cool foiling pattern on the pinks. It looks kind of like, they kind of look like spotlights almost in the back. As you can see, it's like very similar to the background of like the normal Bocchi SSP, but because it's a KBR, you can see that it doesn't have the OFR treatment for the text box and the name box. So, but it still looks really good. And then we can take a look at some of the other KBRs here. So this is a Bocchi KBR. This is the one that sends the event to memory. You can see it in the full KBR foiling. It's really nice because the background is completely colored in, as opposed to like the kind of whitish background from the other cards. And yeah, the volume kind of bars, they're foiled over here. It looks really good. It really stands out. We got a Kita one. Oh, she's so cute. This is her pose from the one scene where she's doing like the oh, what is it? It's like the omelet rice one, like the fua fua pose, really cute. This is Nijika with some boba in her hand. Did they ever get boba in the show? Or is that iced tea? I can't tell. Some drinks. Nijika, some drinks. All right, and then Rio here. Dude, she looks so poor. What is going on? When did she wear this? I don't remember Rio wearing such tacky clothing. So as you can see, there's like two sets of like the KBRs. So there's the ones with these like the volumes on the side, kind of diagonal slanted, and then there's the sets where they have Bocchi the Rock in the background, some music notes, and the volume bars kind of going vertical. Oh, we have some OFRs to show off too. Okay, these are probably my favorite. These OFR climaxes look so good. They're just moments from the anime, but I don't know how they made this foiling look so good. It just pops so nicely. It's just fantastic. Yeah, this is so good. Oh man, looks so nice. And then this one, my own color. I think the Nijika one is my favorite. I think this is my favorite OFR from this set. But this one looks really good too. This is this climax combos with this one. This is the Bocchi one, Breakthrough Overdrive. Climax combos with this one. This is kind of like her moment in episode 8, where she just kind of steps up and does her thing. And then this is Kita's moment from episode 12, where she does her little solo when Bocchi's guitar string snap. Very cool. Yeah, so these are all the... There's another one. A mysterious hand has dropped another SSP. This is the real one. Wow, that looks so good. These look so nice. Yeah. Great. Well, these are all the high rarity foils we get to show off here on the stream. So if you guys are fortunate enough to pull one of these, remember these are going to be 1 per case, 2 per case, and 3 per case. Oh, sorry. 3 per case. All right. So that does it for this box opening stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it and learned a lot about this set and are excited to get into this set yourselves. We will be having our usual content for this set, so TD++, meta deck profile, as well as featured gameplay matches for you guys. So stay tuned for all of that. And that does it from me on the Tressa Collectibles channel. This has been Simu, also known as Chairman. And hope you guys have a great one. All right, see ya.